radioshows.1111mag.com. Change begins with you. Let it be simple, convenient, and transformative. The time is now. Step through the 1111 gateway.
Welcome, everybody, to the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show featuring Dr. Carolyn Dean. Join Dr. Dean for the next 2 hours along with her host, cohort, and good buddy, Ginny Sanders, also known as Ginny Almighty. Join Dr. Dean as she shares with us her vast range of experience, knowledge, talent, and wisdom. Phone lines are now open, and we'll be taking your calls from around the world and here in the USA.
Welcome everyone, live with Dr. Carolyn Dean here on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. We're so happy to have you with us this November 30th, 2020, the last Monday in the month of November, as we enter into the very auspicious month of December, where we will be crossing over into the solstice and soon into a brand new year, 2021. And as usual, we will have at the helm of that very important year our very own Dr. Carolyn Dean, health freedom leader, health visionary, public health advocate, author of The Magnesium Miracle, 35 other free ebooks, not to mention her entire line of Kindle books and all the unpublished books that she doesn't publish anymore because she says it a different way for a different people at a different time, but herself being such a voluminous and prolific author and someone who can really encapsulate medical and health realities in very practical, common sense ways and push them out to the public so that you have an opportunity to take up that wisdom and that information and integrate it into your own life for your own well-being. We're so happy to have her once again here with us for the next 2 hours. You can call in and talk to her tonight at 646-558-8656. You'll want to use the ID number that we sent you in the email you saw on social media, or it's in the chat line, which is 8836953587. And once you come into the line, we'll have an opportunity for you to speak with her after she does her opening comments. Let me just say that as the medical expert that she is in both natural medicine, traditional or allopathic medicine, as a herbalist, as a nutritionist, having done Eastern and Western medical modalities, again, having been a leader for the health freedom movement for so many years, you're in the absolute right place to get the best, most balanced view on how to work within today's health environment. And it is a changing environment. As we all know, we've been riding the Rona roller coaster all year long, some going up and down, sideways, back and forth, tossed to and fro, not really sure of how to respond to the changes in our environment and also to the changes in our food, to our toxic environment, to 5G, to what's happening in other water, river, field, and stream. My goodness, there's a lot going on. But you know what? You know who is confident about what to do is Carolyn Dean. Dr. Dean is a maniac. She just knows what she's doing. And it's so much fun to hang out with her because the more you do, the more confidence you have. And the more confidence you have, the more your fear diminishes. And the more your fear diminishes, the more your stress goes away. And the more your stress goes away, the better you feel. So it's self-fulfilling no matter how you do it if you hang out with Dr. Dean. Before I bring her in tonight, I'll just remind you this is not a health advice show. We are not able to give medical advice over the phone, nor would we, because that would be a fraction of the infractionators of the ABC people. But what we will do is Dr. Dean will oftentimes tell you what she would do if she were in your situation, which she has been many times, having been her own laboratory experiment most of her life. So without further ado, we will bring her in to titillate and inspire you in ways you cannot even imagine what it's going to be like. Our very own Dr. Carolyn Dean.
Yes, Ginny, the maniac. The
You-
maniac is in the house. Yes, you got that right. Yeah, you pretty much have to be a maniac to do what we're doing. In the midst of all this craziness, we just, as you say, we just tell people, well, we've got some information that you cannot resist. We've got a way for you to keep yourself well and happy and healthy in the midst of all this. What did you call it? The Rona craziness? You come up with the neatest phraseology.
The Rona roller coaster, Carolyn. It's the Rona coaster.
Oh, it sure is. And, it's not going to stop anytime soon. So we just have to get healthy and find ways of letting other people know that it is their own body's response to viruses. I mean, this is nothing new in a sense. 20% of colds and flus are due to the coronavirus. Whatever happened to this particular one to make it hit the elderly so hard, people with comorbidities? I mean, was it set out to do that? I don't know, but it is doing that. It makes you realize you don't want to have comorbidities. Get rid of your comorbidities. If you've got high blood pressure, read my heart health book and look at what may be required of your body in terms of magnesium and potassium. Look at the diabetes book that I wrote and realize that sugar is the enemy. And the other comorbidities, well, there's heart, blood pressure, obesity. Then I have a book about weight loss and just giving my 50 years of experience to help people just get healthier and happier. So let me do housekeeping quickly while Jenny is always busy checking the chat line and keeping everything on track. So housekeeping, we want you to know we still have the subscription service where you can get your monthly order on auto ship. We'd still like you to refer your practitioner so they can get involved with our pro side. We want you to use referral candy for your 15% discount. And we absolutely want you to get your home blood test done and to repeat your test. If you've already had your test, if it's been 3 to 6 months, repeat your test so you can know your improvement according to the amount of nutrients you are taking. Do you need more? Do you need less, for example? Our magnesium deficiency survey is still up and running. I guess we've got about 120,000 people who've completed the test, showing us the incredible epidemic of magnesium deficiency in people who are experiencing insomnia, anxiety, muscle cramps, restless legs, heart palpitations, tension headaches, and migraines. So if you hear someone in the Costco aisle talking about their insomnia, you have to tell them about REMAG. It is your duty as a citizen to tell them about REMAG. At Thanksgiving, hopefully everybody was talking about REMAG for the muscle cramps and anxieties. Seriously, you are the only people who are going to pass this information along. And as Ginny said, there's about 20 free ebooks at drcarolyndeanlive.com, and they describe what we talk about every week on the radio show, how to get happy and healthy. At the top of drcarolyndeanlive.com, the homepage, I think we display our nutrients journal paper. It's called Circulating Ionized Magnesium as a Measure of Supplement Bioavailability. So it's a study about REMAG absorption, and we passed that test with flying colors. So today, a little bit of a shift. The blog that Ginny sent out talking about holistic medicine, the way we do holistic medicine here. I guess a preamble to that would be that when I first started out, I was researching a non-laxative magnesium, came up with ReMag, a stabilized ion of magnesium that's fully absorbed at the cellular level. And yes, we're proving that in university research, ongoing research. And after ReMag, then came ReMite, the multiple mineral, which turns out supports the thyroid to such an extent that people, including myself, were getting off their thyroid medications. And the other minerals, I think we have 5, 6, 7 minerals. We have Recalcia for people who don't eat dairy and still need their 600 milligrams of calcium a day. We have Pico Silver to support the immune system, Pico Zinc to utterly support the body's getting rid of viruses. And what else? I should go and look in my closet because I have them all lined up. The bottles are gorgeous. I cannot tell you how impressed I am with our whole team in creating these minerals. And because I am so involved with yeast overgrowth and trying to balance out the yeast in the body, then the other product for that aspect of the theory of why I think people get chronic disease, that's our Flora Revive and soon our Flora Revive Light. So the Flora Revive helps people balance the yeast in their guts so that the yeast is not causing leaky gut and all that flows from that destruction. So we have our minerals, we have the Flora Revive, and I talk about Pico Silver along with the Flora Revive for balancing your yeast. And then what happened in our world with the coronavirus getting such media and being so popular and being epidemic and being fatal to the over 65, 70 age population and people with comorbidities. Because of that extreme focus, and because I've always known that the immune system depends on nutrient support, I really emphasized our whole C reset, our vitamin, it's a food-based vitamin C. And then we have our vitamin C reset, which is an ascorbic acid powder that serves the purpose of making the minerals actually palatable when you mix your whole C powder in with your mineral water. And then we have our vitamin D3 K2 reset for the fact that so many people in our population are vitamin D deficient. And that's showing up in the COVID population, vitamin D deficiency. And the Pico Zinc I already mentioned what came about because of the requirements for the cells of the body to be able to have a zinc that was in a stabilized ion form actually. This stabilized ion can dive straight into the cell. So you see the evolution of our products. But what we wanted to talk about today was that the reason our products probably work so well and are so synergistic is that many of them contain a form of our RNA reset drops. So I haven't talked about that yet. In fact, when I was working on finding a manufacturer or chemist, somebody to help me with a non-laxative magnesium, we were making the RNA drops. And they actually came from a recipe that I got, what is it now, 30 years ago, learned about it about 50 years ago as a individual water pure seeds and grains. And what I learned when I met the gentleman who was making this water purifier, he called it the D cell. And this D cell was grown from grains. And what would happen after several days of these grains just sitting in water in his kitchen, Joe would take a little pipette of this water, put it under his microscope, and in the cells that he saw under his microscope, there was a little light. There was a light in these cells. I mean, I knew enough already in my, I guess it was high school biology, that this was not natural to see a light blinking in cells. So when Joe was dying in the 1990s, he gave me the recipe for the D cell. And ever since then, I had been trying to grow it. And it wasn't until I was in the midst of looking for a non-laxative magnesium, and we started, a friend of ours started showing his gift of knowing, that we got more information on how to make the D cell. And in that became us is a 400-pound concrete block of these grains, the liquid from these grains mixed in with concrete to make a 400-pound block water purifier. Before, what Joe had done is poured this mixture into ice cube trays, and they were the size of ice cubes, the individual purifiers. In the middle of the process of growing what we finally determined to be just barley seeds that we were growing, the factory where we were doing this work, the people in the factory just started getting healthier and happier, and they all just attributed it to this growth of the barley and what we were calling the I cell, and then eventually we called RNA drops. It became RNA ReSet drops a few years ago. So it all sounds kind of bizarre, and perhaps it is to a certain extent, but what it expresses is what Ginny sent out in the blog today, is kind of the next step in the evolution of medicine. I'm going to stop right there before I just sort of speak the words in Ginny's blog and ask Ginny if there's more that she wants to add right now to explain the RNA ReSet drops. And let me just say that, yes, the RNA ReSet drops, one of our workers created a process where we could evaporate the liquid from the drops, make it into a fine powder, and that powder is put in several of our products now. It's in Whole C ReSet, it's in Flora Revive, it's in D3K2, it's in vitamin C ReSet, and probably another one that I'm leaving out. So, Ginny, do you have anything to add at this juncture?
Well, I guess the only thing I would add is, or ask really, is it seems like the eye cell and the drops have totally exceeded what Joe was doing,
Well,
not only in the commercial space of their viability for other consumers, but some of the phenomena that go along with them. Is that right?
yes, it's right. And I guess Joe's audience or his customer base, they would often say that they had incredible experiences from just putting that water purifier into water, or putting a few of these uh, whatever ice cube size concrete blocks in a little apparatus that they would flow water through and water their plants. They said they had incredible results with plants, which we certainly found out. But I think his audience was so small that it just didn't seem that that much of a miracle. Maybe Bob would have something more to say about that, but because Bob's been with me all these years and we both experienced the eye cell. But yes, we're in this miraculous position to be able to offer the RNA reset drops, our products with the RNA powder, to our 100,000 customers and get feedback and do research. I mean, the RNA drops was take the waste product from our making this 400-pound block of this eye block, we call it. What's left over as we call it the barley mash. It just is dried up straw. We never threw anything away because we really didn't know what was going on. And some innovative folks started putting this barley mash in with their plants, because the RNA drops themselves, or diluted RNA drops at the bottom of a bottle, people would put water in their RNA reset drops bottle, shake it up and pour it on their plants, and tell us what miracles they were seeing. So what we did back in 2018, and a lot of people have heard about the radish experiment, but it forms the basis of what we want to talk about today, which is, an elusive chi or life force, or whatever kinetic energy is going on in the body that's hardly even measurable. This is what we found with the RNA drops experiment, where Houston came over from North Carolina, and he worked with the farmers. We made 2 plots. In the one plot, he dug in about 1 pound of the mighty mash, we call it mighty mash. And in the other plot, he didn't do anything. We just watered both plots, but we watered the mighty mash plot with the mighty mash tea as well, twice a week. And after 25, 26 days, we harvested 85 pounds of gorgeous radishes from the mighty mash plot, and only 3 pounds from the plot that didn't have anything, but it was just watered every day. So that showed me that there's life force in the mighty mash. It's a fibrous prebiotic, it's a probiotic. It gave the soil life, and thus it gave the plants life. And healthy, living, vibrant organisms do not attract parasites or pathogens or weeds. And that was a difference. And in the non-mighty mash plot, the control plot, it was just cluttered or choked with weeds. All the radishes were wormy, all except the 3 pounds that we could, shave or from the whole batch. And Bob and I were up on the farm again for Thanksgiving dinner, and And the farmer Ryan was telling us, yes, Houston also dug in Mighty Mash into their turmeric patch, and they had the best turmeric yield that they'd ever had. And he said everything that's been grown on those two areas since has been just, much more prolific than any other area. So this life force aspect of what our products are offering. So that's sort of the overview. Anything more, Ginny, before I go to the blog?
Nope, that sounds great. Thank you.
So the blog, you'll have seen it in your email this morning. Ginny creates the blog, and then we go from there. It's also at drcarolyndeanlive.com. And she's talking about how throughout human history, the origins of health and medical practice emerge from the culture and religious perspective of the society. So in Western society, the influence of science with its microscopes, devices, and technology drove the deeply embedded Eastern influences of body, mind, spirit into an exclusively chemical body with replaceable parts perspective. So, before modern medicine, the women were doing herbology. They were the midwives. They were taking care of the earth. They were using plants, but then that all got railroaded into the modern medicine of mostly the patriarchy, walking the and infecting patients and doing their bloodletting and all manner of things that really weren't in the herbal lore. And we all know that how the witches suffered. The herbalists were called witches back in the day to try to get rid of them and allow doctors to take over medicine. So I've already mentioned, we want to get back whatever it is that makes the body-mind equation balanced with chi or spirit or life force, whatever you want to call it. But it's unfortunate that science has moved away from, quote, spirit. I did happen upon a website called Innovative Medicine, innovativemedicine.com. And they have a nice little article there called A Scientific Comprehension of Body, Mind, and Spirit. And they talk about the body is biochemical reactions, actions, including mobilization of hormones, chemicals, neurotransmitters, fluids, body tissue, and commonly exhibited in various forms of inflammation and all ranges of symptoms. The mind, it's being connected now in the science of psychoneuroendocrine immunology, where they see the interaction between psychological processes and the nerves and immune systems of the body. If you were in on my digestion webinar last week, we talked about the gut being a second brain and how most of the immune system, most of the endocrine system is situated in the gut, and how we can now talk about our gut feelings scientifically, whereas people just thought someone's intuition was kind of woo-woo, but it's being studied in more depth. But at the same time, it'll be studied, but then the treatment or solutions that most allopathic medicine research focuses on are still drugs and surgery. And this continuing the scientific comprehension of body, mind, and spirit, they say the spirit is linked with the informational quantum state level, which is responsible for bodily responses acting upon external and internal informational interchanges, which adversely affect functioning on a cellular to a systematic level, or systemic even. So, I mean, that's just a bunch of jargon, but I guess when I studied acupuncture and I could see, a little needle put in the web space between the thumb and the pointer finger could affect, all manner of symptoms in the body. And realize that it wasn't going through the nervous system, whatever message was being transmitted wasn't going through the circulatory system. I began to see at a very basic level how the body can be affected, or one part of the body can be affected at a distance. I don't know how much more. There's some more words about from this website. Let's just finish with this. They say, to restore health and end the disease, a medication or treatment must address all areas of dysfunction on all levels of the human body. These three levels, body, mind, and spirit, when corrected simultaneously, provide the key to disrupting the pathophysiological cycle of illness and ensuring long-lasting health. Now, right there, I mean, they really don't know what they're saying, because it's not a matter of treating mind, body, spirit. It really is a matter of supporting the cells and letting the body take care of itself. It really is. We don't know how to simultaneously correct anything in the body. The body will correct itself if you give it the right building blocks, period. Going back to Ginny's blog, and I guess this section takes over from how Western medicine has gotten into this. And this is all, it's science. Evidence-based means you have to have the evidence scientifically established. So the definition of evidence-based is the objective, balanced, and responsible use of current research and the best available data to guide policy and practice decisions, such that outcomes for consumers are improved. Used originally in the healthcare and social science fields, evidence-based practice focuses on approaches demonstrated to be effective through empirical research rather than through anecdote or professional experience alone. So they're trying to take the doctor out of the equation and make it all about the science. However, when you consider that science has become corrupt, you have to wonder what science doctors are supposed to follow. And I put down an excerpt from my book, Death by Modern Medicine. And this is the former editor of the New England Journal of Medicine, Dr. Marcia Angell, Angell. Dr. Marcia Angell struggled to bring the attention of the world to the problem of commercializing scientific research in her outgoing editorial titled, Is Academic Medicine for Sale? Angell called for stronger restrictions on researchers receiving drug company stocks and other financial incentives. She said that growing conflicts of interest are tainting science. She warned that when the boundaries between industry and academic medicine become as blurred as they are now, the business goals of industry influence the mission of medical schools in multiple ways. She did not discount the benefits of research, but said that a Faustian bargain now existed between medical schools and the pharmaceutical industry. And, there's a lot more in depth by modern medicine about the science, how most of what is done in allopathic medicine today is not scientifically based, never has been. And that is, quite fascinating to think that this evidence-based medicine, it's all about the science, but the science is very much flawed. And Ginny goes on about developing new solutions. I think I kind of addressed that when I talked about the vibration frequency chi life force that we're addressing with our RNA ReSet drops and our RNA powder products, and people reporting to us about their boosting blood sugars, adjusting appetites, including reducing the impulse for sugar, cigarette smoke, and alcohol. Many customers notice improvement in hair, skin, and nails, in all aspects of their health, including mood. And I told you the backstory on the development of the RNA drops. And right now it's being made in these just tremendously huge drums. We use a couple 100 pounds of barley seeds and end up with 400 pounds of what we call the mighty mash, not the mighty mash, sorry, we just call it the mash. And then the mash goes through there's probably a better scientific word for that. And then the mighty mash, we put it aside, dry it out, and store it. So it's something that is quite amazing. We'll continue to do the testing on the farm. I don't know how much we're going to be able to test it in human trials, but we'll probably get to that. But what we do is send out the RNA ReSet drops to third-party certified labs to test for allergens, heavy metals, bacteria, etc. Make sure it's got its biological sugars, amino acids, and phosphorus. We also do tests for gluten, and for the most part, our RNA ReSet drops do not have gluten, but they have occasionally. So we're not allowed to say that they're gluten-free on our label. And we're not allowed to say they're gluten-free because they come from barley. So apparently people are allergic to the word barley. But our RNA powder consistently tests free of gluten because it's washed of any gluten. And eventually we'll be able to label our products gluten-free as we work with the FDA on getting rid of this barley designation as being synonymous with gluten. So, a lot of words, a lot of very important information. And I'll go back to Ginny and see what she has to add to the whole display of our incredible products.
I think the thing that really struck me, Carolyn, in this in part comes from years of listening to your husband Bob on his radio shows and things, is what I love about the drops is they really are designed to address the unknown factors in the body, because the unknown factors are the non-physical factors. And if you think about kind of what Bob has stated, is that the chemical body or the physical body is mostly only known through science or through microscopes, technology, and whatever, in what they can map out. Here you've got, like, for an example, junk DNA. They don't know what it is. They can look at it. They can see the little sparkly lights. They know there's good stuff in there, and they wouldn't have the foggiest idea of how to organize that DNA into coherency. That's not something that the um, science does. That's something that the non-physical part of us does. And so the drops really, to me, are the activator or the way to tap in or touch or psychologically, whether it's biologically, physiologically, intuitively, intentionally say to that broader part of yourself, I know you're here helping me heal, be well, be balanced, be alive, and I'm touching you with this product in that regard. And, a lot of people, I mean, we know about homeopathy and how that works, or we assume, a lot of people understand about energy medicine. And this is what the drops do, is they give people a tangible, viable, natural product to use to activate that frequency within them, because the drops are managed in part by frequency as well. Do you agree? Hello? Uh-oh.
Yeah, Ginny, you cut out on our end here for about 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So that's what so what I was basically just saying is, when you take the drops, to me, they're like an expression of that desire to move beyond what modern medicine says about who you are and what you can be, and move into the unseen aspect of yourself and utilize that activation. Because we know through, for example, when you went to Madison and we did the Zyto machine testing, and we found that the drops balanced out of balance stressors in the body through their vibration, through their frequency. So they do have an energy medicine component that I think is just amazing.
Right, and it is a component that will never be accepted by allopathic medicine, because they really don't have any scientific tools in their world to measure energy. We do have the Zyto machine. We have lots of research showing that there is this
Hello, Carolyn? Now you're blipping out. Hello? Okay, I think we lost Carolyn.
Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah, my Bob came to me and he said he couldn't hear me, and then I come to the panel and I'm muted, which is bizarre. I was going to phone in, so I said some really wonderful things that I can't remember now.
Well, you said that the allopathic medicine is never going to recognize some of the measurements and things that we know and recognize in the world, even like thermography. I mean, that's a perfect way to look at the body and see what the potentials are, what the options or opportunities are. And yet, medical, they didn't come up with it, so they're not going to recognize that.
Right. And there's no drugs for the spirit. I think I ended up by saying, when people have some sort of mind spirit imbalance, they're given Prozac, which just suppresses their emotions or elevates their emotions, abnormally. So we're on our own. it's the same as we are on our own in supporting our cells and using these minerals. We're on our own in treating yeast because allopathic medicine doesn't look at it. And we're on our own in elevating our mind, body, spirit.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. The drops are definitely one way to get there, for sure. For sure. Very good. Excellent. Yay.
Okay, onward and upward. What do we have for the rest of the show, Ginny?
I knew we have all of our wonderful people on YouTube saying hello, hello, including Elma and Kuwait and Sherry up in New York. We're so grateful to have everybody with us. I know Patrick is there. He just hasn't chimed in yet, and all of our other fun fellows. And we don't have anybody on the chat line asking questions yet, Carolyn. What shall we?
There's a lot of banging and clicking and
That's
burbling.
Me. That's me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Then let me go to some testimonials. That's
Yay!
what we'll do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, on the chat, is anybody saying anything about what we were talking about? Is anybody even interested?
Well, there's lots of people here on the chat on YouTube, and there are other people on the Dream Vision chats, but we can ask for comments about what they learned about the drops and what they think they know or what their experience is about using them, because we have a lot of longtime customers who've used the drops very successfully and have enjoyed the benefits of them. And, you know, in the beginning, when all we had was the drops, you know, before we had Remag or anything, we started with the drops and we had Realign, and then we had Renew, and then the Remag came.
Right,
so
right.
Remember in the beginning when we had the drops, as a matter of fact, we started the radio show, you and I did, to do frequently asked questions about the drops. We started a conference call and it turned into a radio show.
Well, it would be great if people on YouTube or chat can give their experiences or express how can we answer your questions about the RNA reset drops so that you can be more, I guess, familiar with them, so that you would be interested in trying them out. Because I think basically that's what it takes, Ginny, is people just diving in and trying them out.
Yes, I agree. And what we decided, Carolyn, I think we've had a great Cyber Monday, Black Friday, Super Tuesday, Elemental PQRS sale, 22% off site-wide on every product we have, which has been great. And that's going to close tonight. But we decided we're going to do a special campaign tonight and also throughout the week to kind of let people be more familiar, because honestly, the RNA drops part of the program is that secret weapon. You know, it's just that little extra zhuzh that you need to balance out all those undetectables that your body may be experiencing. And so anyway, we decided to extend that 22% off sale on the RNA drops products, just so people who haven't had a chance to try them can dive in and try them. We really want people to have this experience because it is super fun, cool, and groovy.
Right. So for something new, for the way the Mighty Mash affects the plants, we want that for our people. That's why I decided to put the RNA powder in many of our products, and that is why I think they work so well together. They're so synergistic. It's like a catalyst, and people are feeling the benefits and not really knowing that it's due to, in part, the RNA powder. But look how many times people will say to us, well, gosh, I used to use another form of this and that supplement, but when I take yours, it seems I feel it. I really think it's working for me, et cetera, et cetera. So, we've found something that can be really synchronous, really catalytic for people, so that from the cellular level, your body is able to make the R. This is what we've been told that the drops do. Actually, it makes your RNA, your messenger RNA, program your DNA with the perfect photocopy of your genes, and then those genes make the perfect proteins, because that's the sequence: messenger RNA, DNA, genes, and protein. So that's what we're doing, and perhaps that one of these years will prove what's going on. But at this point, it's our plants that are showing us the way, and also our animals. I mean, with the RNA drops, I remember in the beginning people using them on their animals and having great success. Right, Jenny?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That was
Mhm.
another thing that we had. And, the more products you kind of layer in, sometimes it's uh, difficult to then start to discern. You just know you feel great, you feel great, you feel great. But in the beginning, when we were just working with the drops, the testimonials that we got were so much fun. And yes, people had a lot of success with their pets.
Right, right. So any words from chat or YouTube, or will I go to a couple of testimonials before the top of the hour?
Yes, let's go to testimonials before the top of the hour.
Okay. So this is interesting. This is a 60-year-old woman. She says, I'm in excellent health. Until the pandemic, I was working out at the gym 3 or 4 times a week, working full time, self employed, and very busy. The only health challenge I've had in my life is a chronic undiagnosed breathing problem, which began 15 years ago. And then she goes on, her oxygen saturation was normal, all her tests were normal. So this is 15 years she's suffering this. And then February of this year, 2020, her breathing problems became significantly worse. She did a whole other round of testing. And finally, I think she said she figured out that it may be her hormone replacement therapy pellets that she was receiving. Now, some women do get pellets implanted. Gosh, I forget where they can be implanted. Uh, they may be under the skin, but they had rather high doses of testosterone, she said. And her pulmonary doctor suggested that this had speeded up her metabolism, causing symptoms of congestive heart failure, which made her feel as though she was drowning. She said her cardiac catheterization showed some stiffening of the left side of her heart, which would be consistent with this diagnosis of congestive heart failure. She said her heart was probably way too efficient to cause actual overt congestive heart failure. And she thought it made sense that these newly added pellets would be the culprits. Now, I don't know when she added the pellets, if it was 15 years ago or recently. Okay. Anyway, she said the pellets last for 3 months, so she was stuck with them. She used Lasix, which is a diuretic, to try to help get rid of fluid that might, be putting more pressure on the heart. So then she said, my daughter sent me your article about the benefits of magnesium. So I was really impressed with the research. So I decided to try it and ordered it that day. I tried it the next morning and thought I might be feeling a little bit better. Tried it again the next day and definitely was feeling better. It's been 5 days and I have not used any supplemental oxygen and have had more energy. I made 2 pumpkin pies today after work. All I can say is thank you so much. So that's from Deborah. So this was a wow to me. I wrote back to her and said, we keep hearing about the miracle of REMAG. I think in this case, the magnesium is helping to metabolize and eliminate these synthetic hormones and helping the body to improve the heart function and improve energy and do the 1,000 things that it does. So no matter what, REMAG will help. So I thought, I mean, seriously, that was totally new to me, that you could have an overdose of a hormone and REMAG could be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it when you get stupefied by your own products that are so amazing. You're like, oh my God, that's so amazing.
I'm stupefied. Right. So this is, as I said, where we put it down to, well, it's doing 1,000 things. I guess that's one of the 1,000 things it does, right?
Right.
How can we even quantify something just so amazing? And at the same time, how do doctors just ignore this? How is it possible that they just keep on banging away at their crazy treatments with drugs and every day, I guess it is, I get a whole list of new studies and research and articles from Medscape, and they're increasingly becoming more and more like totally obscure, where they'll be talking about drugs that I've never heard about, these biological drugs that are just sort of made up out of thin air, and they're just thrown at people in hopes that they'll help. It's just incredible. Incredible.
Yep. Well, I don't know. What do you say? You can't be held responsible for what you don't know or you don't understand or something. I mean, I guess the fundamental flaws there is education, but
Ginny, you went all scrabbly again. What's going on? Are the dogs jumping over your microphone?
No, I am having a problem with my headset tonight. It needs to be replaced.
Oh, poor girl. So you have it taped to your head, do you?
That's right. That's right. I'm sitting here with the big roll of duct tape, wrapping it around my jaw. No, anyway, I'm just saying it's amazing that they just keep cranking it out because they're robots in a robotic system that's been all automated based on science and whatever they think their evidence is.
Mm-hmm.
And they just keep cranking it out.
Yeah. And they're in this delusion that what they can, I mean, you wouldn't believe. I'm just looking through this lists and lists of the different studies and research, and what they think is important. New assay platform enhances detection of circulating breast cancer cells. They keep on, I guess, applying for research grants to keep themselves working, and it really, what does it have to do with making the cells of the body happier and healthier? But anyway, we will address this and many more things on the second hour of our show, right, Ginny?
That is absolutely correct. So again, for those of you who are interested in talking to Dr. Dean, and we do have a blue hand waving, you've got to hit *9 on your keypad once you come into the show. So 646-558-8656 is the number to call. 88396953-587 is the number to get in, and you can push that on your smartphone and all your devices. It's in all of our emails and on the radio show here. And then you've got to hit *9. So we have phone calls waiting and people calling in, and they'll be wanting to speak to Dr. Dean in the next hour. So we'll do that, and we'll listen to more testimonials. We'll have more great information. We've got Scott from Florida who's chimed in and said hello, who's a new listener. We've got Kathy from Salem, Oregon, new listener listening to us tonight. So we're so happy to have our new listeners with us, and just always encourage everybody, if you have a question or a concern about natural medicine and how to implement those things in your life, be sure to call us. Second hour, Talk with Dr. Dean. We'll be right back after this quick break. You're listening to Dream Vision 7 Radio Network.
We'll be back with Hour 2 of the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show, along with host Ginny Sanders, right after this brief station break. You can also get updates and resources online by visiting drcarolyndean.com. That's drcarolyndean.com.
Did you know there are 65 health conditions associated with magnesium deficiency? Magnesium deficiency is a public health crisis growing in scope and proportion. Dr. Carolyn Dean, author of The Magnesium Miracle, has identified over 65 health conditions associated with magnesium deficiency, 100 factors that lead to magnesium deficiency, and 24 reasons why magnesium deficiency occurs. Order The Magnesium Miracle today at Amazon.com and learn how to remedy this pervasive condition.
Do you have questions about your health? Are you wondering about alternatives? Do you ever wish you could have 5 minutes with a doctor you can trust? Someone who is an internationally recognized authority in the field of natural medicine? Meet award-winning doctor, naturopath, and best-selling author of The Magnesium Miracle, Carolyn Dean, MD, ND. Hear a wealth of information designed to empower listeners and callers to discover how to improve health, vitality, and well-being through a variety of safe strategies and nutritional options. Dr. Carolyn Dean Live. Shows can be heard every month 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern, with weekly live shows 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time on syndicated Dream Vision 7 Radio Network.
Natural health, vitality, and well-being. Yes, everyone wants it, but not everyone is sure how to achieve it. Dr. Carolyn Dean's Completement formulas are more than just dietary supplements. They're whole foods and picometer minerals designed to complete your nutrition, not just supplement it. Experience the difference Dr. Dean's formulas make. Visit RNAReset.com to learn more. That's RNARESET.com.
Omega Institute, offering workshops, retreats, and online learning dedicated to awakening the best in the human spirit. With more than 40 years at the forefront of holistic studies, Omega is known the world over as a trusted source for integrated approaches to personal growth and social change. Located in Rhinebeck, New York, just 90 miles north of New York City, Omega's natural environment and quiet pace allow for extraordinary experiences to unfold. Learn more at eomega.org or call 877-944-2002. Again, 877-944-2002.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
We return now to the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show, along with her host, cohort, and good buddy, Ginny Sanders. Phone lines are open during live broadcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour 2, Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting humankind with universal love, or as I like to say, or I shouldn't say, or I should say, and uniting humankind with the universal love found in the most brilliant, most vivacious, most beautiful Dr. Carolyn Dean. Just a complete and total maniac this woman is, running around the planet, giving everybody the opportunity to be in charge of their health. The audacity. What is she doing? But you're here with her to learn what she knows so that you can flow with the same flow that she flows. And it'll be fun catching up with her, because she's way out there, ladies and gentlemen, in a very wonderful and brilliant way. But she's here to support you in achieving the same. We're talking about health freedom. We're talking about personal responsibility. We're talking about using nutrition and nutritional assets to improve your health, your vitality, your well-being. And also, we're talking about the RNA drops in the second hour, which is our spirit medicine, our energy vortex, our ascension tool that we use to bring our bodies into new levels of awareness and cooperation with the non-physical part of ourselves, so that we can be and do and have all that we desire. Even in these crazy times, there's lots of opportunity to create that reality for yourself. So we welcome her back, and our many listeners who are on the line with us tonight. Thank you for joining us again. When you get into the call, you've got to hit *9 to raise your hand in the studio here on my computer line, and I'll know you want to talk to Dr. Dean, and then I'm going to put you on the phone with her, just as we're about to do, Carolyn, if you're ready to take some phone calls.
Yes. Sounds like someone's jamming in there already, and it is not just even in these crazy times, it's especially in these crazy times. You do want some extra sustenance, something actually that many people have said the RNA drops do give them a sense of detachment. People do find they get detached from their addictions, and they get detached from their anxiety, their emotions, their worries. So, there's another reason to work with the drops. And we're not talking about you're going to be taking a lot of these drops. The dosage, people are shocked to find out, is you take 1 drop a day for a week, and then you take 2 drops. And you do that for a week, and you just slowly let your body get used to having something so magical in the system, something so alive and that has so much life force. So this is a bottle that will last you a while. Bob and I are up to taking a whole teaspoon a day. Bob probably takes a tablespoon. But how much are you taking now, Ginny, of the RNA drops?
I don't even measure. I just throw them back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just, grab the bottle, put some in your mouth, and run away. But it's been, gosh, Carolyn, it's been, 9 years we've been taking them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think these serve you well. Absolutely. Especially in these times, because when the rubber meets the road, you've got to have that calm, Suave de Boner aura about yourself.
Yeah, Bob says he takes 2 tablespoons a day, and look where he is. He's floating above the stratosphere. And they have changed over the years. I mean, in the beginning, they had all kinds of different effects in terms of the taste for everybody. I thought what did mine taste like? Tobacco.
Yeah.
And I figured that was me detoxifying the smoke and tobacco that my father used to smoke around the house when I was a kid. Other people said they tasted not Cheerios, what's that? The cheesy tortilla, no,
Cheetos.
Cheetos. There you go. So everybody had a different taste, and it's been such a incredible length of time that we're at 165 generations now. If it takes 3 and 4 weeks between each batch, that's 65 months, 165 months, and each new generation has an amount of the previous generation brought forward. So you have like this incredible resonance of something that's 10 years old, and you also have this substance being swirled around in a drum, which makes it homeopathic succussion. So that's doing something. So we've got so many little bits and pieces that are making this stuff just really alive.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's very, very, very fun. Very fun. And who else has it? Nobody. Nobody else has this. Nobody else could touch it. Nobody else could pull the generations from the beginning all the way through. And the very same, there's been no break in the chain, in any part of the chain, the chain of custody, what they call it, of who's been in charge and who's been making it and batching it and bottling it and everything. There's absolutely no break in the batch and no break in the chain of custody. So there's no way anybody could duplicate this. And this was why it's just so extraordinary, and why we want people to have the experience of really allowing it to boost you. And I think the audience at Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, those who are really tuned in to that aspect of themselves and really are wanting to be in their force field, powered, powerful, prophetic way, will really benefit from this product. So we encourage you to try it out. Okay, should we take some telephone calls, Carolyn?
Yes, please.
Okay, wonderful. All right, let's go to area code 719. I'm unmuting your phone with the blue button, 719. You're on the phone with Dr. Dean, 719. The little blue button's coming to you. All these funny things now we have. It's so funny. We have less privacy than ever, and they're worried about people's privacy. It's so hilarious. Okay, 719. Did you see my blue button? Okay, I will come back to you. All right, let's go to area code 631. 631, I'm unmuting your phone, and you're on with Dr. Dean. Area code 631. You can unmute your phone now and come into the call. There you are. Hello, hello.
Hi. Hi there. Hi, this is Mary. Hi, Dr. Dean. How are you?
Hi, Mary. Doing great. Thank you. How about you?
Doing well. Ups and downs, and hanging in there, taking care of myself and my family.
Good for you. Are you calling in with one of your ups or one of your downs?
I'm not sure, actually. No, I'm generally an optimistic, happy person, doing my best. But I wanted to tell you that my older sister told me about the Remag because she's been using this in her water bottle for a long time. I did purchase everything, and I love it. I love the magnesium. I think it's great. It's just a great, everything I've read about it. And I'm an RN, and I know about, muscle cramps and, hearing from my parents and my aunts years and years ago, cramps in the legs. And I think it's a great thing, magnesium. It's a gift. And I also started the Remite, so I'm trying the products. I think they're excellent. I did have a question. I also purchased the Pico Silver. I'm not using it daily. I'm saving it, not that I ever need it, but I have it in my medicine cabinet. And I just, I guess I could look it up online too. I was just wondering, is there any concern about the body metabolizing the silver or excreting it, like how it's used in the body?
Sure.
Because it sounds so different to me
Well,
than anything I'm familiar with.
what we knew about medicine was it's still the case where silver is used on burns, right?
Yes,
And
that's right.
silver, I should do a list, but the silver is a medicinal, um, what it medicinal medicine, but it's used medicinally, and it was put aside when antibiotics came along. And what I did, because I had a concern, I didn't want people to use silver compounds because it's a silver compounds that the body can't handle. So I wanted to make sure that the pico silver was just the stabilized ion of silver. And what I did, Mary, is I wrote a book called Pico Silver, and it's free at drcarolyndeanlive.com. Because if you go online to try to find out about silver, you won't find enough information about this ionized silver, this silver ions in the picometer size, or some research talks about it in the nanometer size. So,
yes, I saw that.
right. So I took my my information from a researcher who put together a technical bulletin for a supplement company. Maybe he did it 15, 20 years ago. And he was so impressed by our Pico Silver that he offered me the silver report. And if you look at Dare Carolyn Dean Live /books, drcarolyndeanlive.com/books, Pico Silver, Clearing Up the Controversy is one of the books. And the next one is the Silver Report. Now, the gentleman who wrote the Silver Report, he was so impressed by our Pico Silver compared to the silver that he'd reported on, because his wife, she's a healthcare professional as well, but both of her shoulders had, oh gosh, what would it have been? She had a lot of pain in her shoulders. I don't think it was biceps. It was just shoulder dysfunction. Pardon me?
That's interesting. I'm listening. No, it's
right. And she was taking silver just for, I think, a sinusitis problem, chronic sinus infections. And what happened, just out of the blue, her shoulders cleared up. And she couldn't figure it out. Here it was. Yeah, it was frozen shoulder. And what do you do for frozen shoulder? You have to do exercises. They don't really know what causes it. But what I know from Chinese medicine is that when the body has subclinical infections, it will, along the divergent meridians, it will divert the infection to the external joints of the body so that the internal organs won't be affected. And that's what I think is happening with a lot of people with their knee and hip and shoulder and even wrist symptoms that are called arthritis, is they have subclinical infections. So I know you said you're saving your Pico Silver for, heaven forbid, if you get an infection. But the thing of it is, it's good to take some silver, 1 or 2 teaspoons a day for a period of time, 3-4 weeks, to see what it does. Maybe it's going to, shift something that you didn't even realize you had, or you just got used to. But I talk about all these things in the Pico Silver book.
And I've just pulled up a website here, your Pico Silver and Colloidal Silver questions answered. So that,
right, because it's, I don't know if it was the colloidal silver or silver compounds that kind of build up in the body tissues. That's where you know, maybe a half dozen people in the world turned blue because they tried to make their own silver and ended up, doing it wrong. And then that becomes the big, the big news flash. Oh, don't take silver because it'll turn your body blue. But, that's why I call the subtitle of the Pico Silver book is Clearing Up the Controversy, to, try to answer some of these myths. And there was a silver that I used to recommend, and it was from a very good company, and they did a lot of good testing, even research. And many of our customers, including physicians, have said since they've moved over from that other silver, they've found even more success. So there's something very powerful about stabilizing the ions of these minerals that allows the body to accept them, because it's in the ion form that the plants absorb minerals from the soil. There's a certain size ratio that is required for plant minerals to get into plants, and it is a picometer size. The same with human cells. The minerals will only get into the cells if the minerals are in picometer size. So
that makes sense. Absolutely.
Right,
to be absorbed at the cellular level, or with many supplements and things, we don't even absorb it. You're taking it and you're excreting it right away.
Yeah, you being a nurse, I often tell the story about, the Centrum vitamin minerals. They are covered in some sort of shellac to so that they don't break down right away. Supposedly it's to give an extended time release. But what I've heard from nurses, that they know when someone's on their Centrum because they hear the pill, clink in the bedpan.
Yeah.
And
who knows?
And it's those types of synthetic pills that are clogging up the sewage treatment plants, apparently. It's a mess.
It's a mess, all right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. I enjoy the products, and open-mindedness and not taking everything we hear, about many supplements. I always research everything. And I absolutely love the Remite. I love the Remag, and the silver I'm learning about.
Right. Good. And yes, you can discern from your medical training, because I come from a medical background, but I realized that doctors really aren't being given the information on nutrients to make an informed decision. And the vitamins and minerals they talk about in the studies, they are synthetics. So they're not going to help a person. So, we are doing our research. We did our first series of studies out of Purdue, and we showed the bioavailability of the Remag. We showed the size of it. They measured it with some laser. Gosh, I should memorize what goes on with this instrument, but they beam lasers through the Remag solution, and the laser just goes right through to the other side. It doesn't bounce off anything because the picometer size of the magnesium is so small. So there's nothing solid in that liquid. And our wonderful head of research, Taylor Wallace, he had his graduate student do the test twice. He still didn't believe it. He went and did the test himself the third time because he couldn't believe it, that there was nothing there yet. It's a very strong tasting concentrated solution of magnesium. So
I try not to spill it. I'm using a teaspoon. I was hoping I could find a dropper the right size because I'm trying not to waste any of it. And it's, it's
well,
it's precious.
it's precious. It's precious, and you'll get to hearing about our vitamin C reset powder. It's a berry flavored ascorbic acid, and I'm telling people that they, of course, for the immune system, you want some extra ascorbic acid, but it takes away the taste of the minerals, so that you
Okay.
mix that in with your Remite mineral water, and you just have berry flavored soda.
Yep. I'm careful with vitamin C, though, at least the kind over the counter, because it can be abrasive on the teeth.
Right. Okay.
So that I usually just take that. And then, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to ask just quickly about adding mineral salts, just the sodium, like the Himalayan salts into the water with the magnesium. A small amount of salt as well.
Oh, yes. We talk about that in our hydration guidelines. You take your body weight, divide that in half, drink that many ounces of water a day. And in every...
That's fantastic advice for people.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, it is.
Dehydration is one of the big problems. I think it's a problem with blood clotting and, well, you know.
And elderly people and mentation, all of that. But anyway, it's
they don't want to go to the John. They stop drinking so they won't have to go to the bathroom. It's terrible.
I'll just tell you quickly. My mother-in-law was in the nursing home. We hired an aide to sit with her, and they weren't allowed to give her any water in case she choked. So it was awful. She kept being hospitalized, and and hydration is so important.
But choking like that, choking on water, that's magnesium deficiency. Your throat is in like a semi-spasm.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it's so wonderful to speak with you. Thank you so much for your time and your knowledge.
Let me just address this abrasive on the teeth with the vitamin C. What we did with our powder, it's got 407 milligrams of potassium in each dose. So that sort of neutralizes the acidity. And there's no abrasion with it. I mean, it's just...
That's good. Wonderful.
And, what we're telling people to do, I don't know, I certainly tell myself, after I drink some of my vitamin C mineral liquid, and I'll swallow some of my vitamin pills, my whole C reset and D3K2, I will follow that up with a few swallows of just plain sea salted water, because I don't think it's a good idea to have anything in your mouth that can settle on your teeth. So maybe that's an answer. After you eat sugar, you're supposed to rinse your mouth out with water, right? Because the sugar will settle on your teeth. So anything food, you just rinse your mouth out with water or brush your teeth. So anyway, but thanks for bringing that up, Mary.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful to speak with you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Right. Bye now.
Hey, Jenny.
Beautiful call, Carolyn.
Oh, yeah, it's great when there are nurses and health practitioners that call in, because it's so beautiful that they're able to appreciate the products, from their level of experience. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. 646-558-8656 is the number to call. If you're already on the line tonight, and we've got lots of callers, be sure to hit *9 on your keypad. *9 will raise your hand in the studio and let me know that you have a question or comment. And then I'm going to hit the blue button to take your phone off mute. And when I do, area code 941, you'll come on and talk to Dr. Dean. Area code 941. You've got to respond to the request to unmute your phone on your screen. There you go. Welcome to the show, 941. Go ahead, please.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was me. I'm here poking buttons. Carol Darby, how you doing tonight?
Hey, Carol.
Oh, good. Hi, Carol.
Yeah,
Go
you
ahead.
hit a *9, you hit a *6. It's confusing. Anyway, Ginny, I never got the sample of whole C from you. Was I supposed to give you my address or something?
It's already been taken care of, Carol, but we got backlogged in the warehouse with all the different things going on. And we had to track down.
I know what you mean, and I'm backlogged tonight because I'm sitting here in your site ready to order with all your wonderful prices, but many things twirling through my head listening to you talk about the RNA reset. I keep debating, should I do that package deal, but I was going to do some larger bottles of the Remag and Remite. And I wanted to order more Pico Silver, but I also had
Carol,
Carol,
this is not customer service. This is me answering your questions. So what question do you have?
No, it's a question about Pico Silver. I had a sinus thing last week, and I was, just going to take it all day, like you said, like 6 teaspoons. The third teaspoon, I don't know what made me look it up, and you were just trying to explain a lot about the silver. I guess colloidal silver popped up, but it said it could interact with the thyroxine. I just got on that with the low thyroid. Is that a problem with the Pico Silver? I just stopped it because it made me nervous.
Well, you stop Googling. You're getting yourself into all, Google is not your doctor. And Google is not your RNA Reset customer service. If you have a question, you call us. We're the experts in Pico Silver, it's not colloidal.
Yeah, I had a big project I was crashing on the weekend. So, I just figured I'd call in tonight if I got the opportunity.
Yeah, and I know I'm slapping your wrist here, but there's too much contradictory information out there on the internet for you to get into it. And now you've stopped your treatment. And what I would recommend as well for the for sinusitis, in the Pico Silver book, we talk about nebulizing the Pico Silver.
Oh, I do that. I was doing that. Yeah.
Oh, good. So
between that and the hydrogen peroxide, because once I started taking the Pico, I did the hydrogen peroxide. I got it pretty well cleared up now. Little frog or something I keep getting in my throat.
Well, let me ask you, Carol, why do you think in the midst of all the good stuff you're doing, why do you think you got the sinusitis?
I have no clue. I think it's kind of like an allergy type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I fought it off and on since March. And like I say, it was the first time I really thought, oh, good, I'm going to use Pico Silver. But the thyroxine, it's been such an issue that the doctor's saying, yeah, don't take this, don't do that. I've had to go back a couple of times. She moved it back to morning, but she told me not to even take the Remag until like 2:30.
Oh, boy.
I have a timer going off on my phone every 4 hours with something. But so then I try to put the Remag on, and I've been trying to drink along on the Remite. Again, I'm not sure with the interaction with this drug. And remember, she made me go gluten-free and soy-free. So between starving, the thyroxine, it's been many things. But and the other thing, I can't have any barley, and that popped up. I tried to write support today, but the barley was in the whole C reset, I know, and then I thought I had read it was in other. Is this too much? Your Flora Revive, I got it. I didn't start on it yet. It said 44 milligrams of barley.
Carol, you have to talk to customer support. you're asking, a lot of little questions. We have all the answers. And if you listen to what I said in the beginning about all the RNA powder products, we wash out the gluten. So there isn't any gluten in the powder products, but we can't put gluten free because it's a barley. And all of a sudden, just the word barley means we can't put gluten free. So you're not getting
remember you said it wasn't a lot of barley, but then I thought I saw it in several products. So as I'm here ordering the whole list, I just wondered if that was
no. And you really have to call customer service because you've got so many people telling you things to do, and in a few minutes on the radio show, I'm not going to be able to give you the correct answers. And I know you talk to customer service and all, and I know you're in the middle of this thyroxine business. I wish you didn't have to go on it at all, because taking the Remite is going to support your thyroid, and all this business about don't take this with it, don't take that. It doesn't mean anything. The reason why if your doctor can give you a reason why you're not supposed to take magnesium close to thyroxine, I'd love to hear it. But what I think it is they think magnesium is just a laxative so that when you take it, you have diarrhea and flush out your medication. And that's just not true. So, all these little myths and these stories that are going around, you're getting yourself all, in a twist because of, all this misinformation.
Yeah. Well, and it's like I say, I'm trying to kind of get going on your products. And then it was so wonderful. You had the 22% off. So, I'm ready to order up, and I've been trying to do it all weekend, or I did want to ask you some questions, but I had a project I had to work on all weekend. So here we are at 9:00 at night trying to order.
Well, I
got a few hours here.
Yeah, and we hear you. Ginny hears you.
Yep. Carol, I know you have a great relationship with Lisa and Julie, and I know you talk to them all the time. So they're not going to withhold any good thing from you. If you need more time to make your decision, they'll honor the discount. Just take the time, to call in, talk with Julie, talk with Lisa. They'll walk you through it. They'll help you with the discount. Everything will be fine. No problem.
I'm not sure about if I've talked to Lisa, but yeah, definitely Julie. But yeah, these questions come up, and I'm reading on the labels. And like I say, I read your stuff all the time, but my desk is piled with them, and I can't.
Well, here's the thing, though, Carol. You got to understand the Total Body Reset bundle was already put together for Carolyn, by Carolyn. She's the doctor. She already knows what's in it. The Remag, the Remite, the Realign, the Restructure, the RNA drug. She knows what's in it and what its purpose is. You don't have to go through and read labels and juggle all this business. That's not, Carolyn has already said, this is going to be very valuable biologically for anybody who's in a meltdown situation. You can just trust that recommendation and go with it. You don't have to do all this analysis.
Yeah. Well, I just got on that tonight. I've been here on your website while listening to the show. And that's when I saw and she was talking a lot about the RNA reset. I didn't even have time to read your email much today. I was getting the idea what the show was about. But and the drops, it said, I know you said you guzzle it back, but when we're starting with a drop, but I just wondered once you worked up to the 30, if you just spread those through the day,
Yeah, just twice a day, Carol. It ends up, 15 drops twice a day. So.
Oh, so you're just doing 15 drops at one time under your tongue?
Correct. And that's all written out. I think it's on the label, but the FDA keeps our labels so uninformative that's why we have customer service. So are you okay? I'm going to let you go now. You're going to phone Julie in the morning if you haven't figured out your order. So is that okay?
Yeah. So you mean it's all right to wait to order?
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
right. Well,
it's
I'll do.
late, we don't want you, worrying and that you're not going to get your discount. So we'll take care of you. Okay, Carol?
Yeah. I
Okay, hon.
appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Ginny, for everything.
You're welcome,
You're-
sweetheart. I'm texting Julie right now, telling her to expect your call and honor the discount. All taken care of. No worries.
Great. Appreciate it. Thank you
All right.
both. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye, Carol. Thank you.
Bye, love.
Bye.
Okay, let's go to area code 703. 703. I'm sending you the blue button to unmute your phone so you can come on the show. There you go. 703. Come on in.
Hi, Jenny. Hi, Dr. Dean. This is Lillian from Northern Virginia. How are you guys?
Hi, Lillian. I love that name. Lillian is such a sweet name. I'm going to say your name many times. I'm going to say Lillian many times. Yes, go ahead, Lillian.
Hi, I just wanted to tell you I've been using your products for the last 5 years, and you have saved me from surgery. You have saved me from medication, and I just want to thank you for that. I'm on the Remite. I have a thyroid problem, and so I just wanted to share that I started using it. I started using it and I could feel instantly like my hands were always cold, but they would warm up. And so I noticed that like your products, I could see things actually happening to my body. So like with Remeg, I could, my gut was good. I could be around dogs and cats and I could go outside without like needing to blow my nose and stuff. And just so many great things that have happened. So I just wanted to share on the Pico Zinc. I started using it in my hair because I noticed that my hair was always falling out. And I just thought it was one of those things as a woman. But I now kind of think it must have been connected to the thyroid problem. So I started using the Pico Zinc and I applied it to the areas that were kind of losing the hair, like the spots in the front. And I just used like a little drop. Like one of those dropper things. And I was pouring that in there. And I would just kind of like go back and forth and put that in my hair. I noticed that those areas are coming back.
Wow.
So, so that was
that's something that some of our people they'll put Remag and Pico Silver in a spray bottle and spray those areas. So now I'm going to have to tell them to put Pico Zinc in as well.
Yes, I did try the Remag, but I was also like kind of, I guess it was burning some reason my scalp. And so I said, no, I can't use that. But, but I do. And I do want to let you know, I think because of the thyroid, I went into like early menopause. And so suddenly intercourse became very difficult. And I started taking the Pico Zinc and I noticed that area improved like from pain to like relaxation and joy. So that worked for me.
Wow. Yes. Very good. Yeah.
And
was that, Lillian, was that just taking the Pico Zinc by mouth?
I would put it in the water twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. And and it hasn't even been that long because I think I started it around maybe August, July. And yes. And I've been dealing with the menopause symptoms and stuff like, I don't know, maybe a couple of years, and trying like other things and almost went down the road of the bioidenticals. And then I said, you know what? I don't want to be on medication, for the rest of life. And so, so I just went your route and everything's just been working fabulously. So.
Right. Yeah. I guess I look at early menopause as kind of the total body meltdown where if it gets to the hormones, then it means that the thyroid is already compromised, the adrenals, everything is sort of weakened. So that's where the minerals and everything are important. Now, are you saying that you're just on Remag and Remite, or are you on other things as well?
No, I'm only on any of your products, like so the Pico Silver every now and then, the Restructure, but I don't take any other medications, for anything else. Yeah, and it's kind of hard in my family because my aunts are on the thyroid medication. They were like, "Well, what's the problem? Just take the medicine. We've been doing it for years." And I'm like, "I don't want to do that." It's like,
yeah, because
but
when you support your thyroid, you're supporting all kinds of other things with those minerals. But yes, go ahead, Lillian.
Oh, I was just going to ask you about the grassroots test. My grandma is 106 years old, and I just wondered if I could test her.
Sure.
Okay.
Jenny, do we have any test kits, free test kits left that we can send to Lillian for her 106-year-old grandmother?
Yes, and if we didn't, Carolyn, I know you would personally pay for it, but we actually have some free ones. So yes, absolutely. Just email Lisa in customer service tomorrow, Lillian, or tonight. She's never sleeps, and she'll be happy to get that to you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And I just had one more question about the RNA reset. Can you just tell me what the difference is between RNA reset and RNA rebob?
They're the same thing. The RNA reset bottle is an ounce and a half, and the rebob is 3 ounces, and I just named it after Bob. So it's just a bigger bottle of the RNA reset.
Oh, okay. I felt like maybe it was more potent or something because it was named after your husband, but okay.
It probably is. It probably is. He's taking 2 tablespoons a day, so he needs lots of rebob.
Okay. Well, I'm going to probably have to venture into that in the new year and stuff, but I'm going to try the vitamin C. Yes, I'm going to try that one, your reset.
Yes, and as I was saying earlier, if you, I guess to Mary, if you put it in your mineral water, you don't even taste the minerals anymore. So it's a really great way to take your minerals, because we've had a lot of people who've shot themselves in the foot because they say, I can't take the taste of the minerals. I'd rather die than take these minerals. So we say now, okay, no, you don't have to go that far. You can take the berry powder and everybody's healthy.
I'm going to try it, although I love the magnesium, and when I drink plain water, it tastes so funny.
Right.
So yes, so I'm on that side of the camp, but I'm going to try it because for different family members, especially my grandma, because we can't get her to drink water. So that I was thinking this might actually work for her.
Right. Yes, and you can put a half teaspoon or even a whole teaspoon of the Remag and Remite in there, and you'll be amazed how much it helps her.
Okay, I've never thought about giving her the Remite, but I guess I can add that. Okay, great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Good idea.
Okay.
You would know all your products. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, Lillian. Thank you for calling. Good questions.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Have a good one. Take care.
Yeah. Take care. Bye-bye. Yay. And here comes Ginny.
Oh, here I am. Such good callers tonight. That is so much fun.
I know. 106-year-old grandmother. Yes, let's just give her minerals and vitamin C berry powder. And yes, as Chad has said in some of his marketing for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, buy these products for your friends and family for all your gifts. Actually, I've been saying it for the past couple of weeks too. What's the point of giving someone a box of chocolates that will just give them diabetes when you can give them the minerals and products to prevent diabetes? I don't think there's much of a choice there, right, Ginny?
Amen.
Amen.
I'm with Dr. Dean. With Dr. Dean. All right, let's go to our very good friend in 954. I think that's Florida. Area code 954, you're being asked to unmute your phone and join the party. There you are.
This is Scott, 2 weeks in a row, Mr. Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Go for it, Scott.
Last week I talked to you about, estrogen levels, but can you help me out tremendously? But this week I want to ask you a question regarding low levels of tinnitus. Am I not taking enough Remag or Remite? Because it really only bothers me really at night, not much during the day. But is it maybe because I'm not taking my stuff at night?
I don't know. I mean, when you lie down during the day, do you hear it? Do you think it's a positional thing? Because some tinnitus or tinnitus is the little calcification of the hair cells that kind of zings a person. I mean, I have constant tinnitus from my autosclerosis deafness condition, and I to me it's just background noise. I think of it as the dolphins talking to me.
Well, I only get it in one ear. I only get it in one ear, and that's the right ear.
So if it's only one ear, then that can be a structural anatomical thing.
Yeah, I have been told that I had very narrow ear canals. Well, maybe that's it.
Right.
Oh, well, that won't be. Let me ask one other quick question and let somebody else get on the line.
Yeah.
You were talking about the Pico Silver and what people with pain and arthritis type things that'll help that.
Well, if the arthritis is a subclinical infection that's inflaming or irritating a joint, it has helped our customers. So I can't come out and say, well, if you got arthritis, take Pico Silver.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just, it's really for my mother who's in her early 80s. She has a little bit of that, and she has some other issues. I think. Well, I'm really happy you told me about. You talked about the berry formula and vitamin C, because I've tried to get her on Remite and Remag and everything else like that, and she says I cannot take the taste.
Right. I'd rather die. I would rather die than take them. So it's a perfect solution.
I love the taste. I can't get enough of it. I mean, the taste to me is excellent. So, but I take a lot of vitamin C anyways. I'm a huge believer in vitamin C. But that's good. We're going to order some of that stuff tonight, and we're going to work on some of the other stuff. But thank you. I believe in gratitude, and you're doing a continued great work, and I'm going to be here week in and week out, and hopefully Jenny will continue to pick my number.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Scott. We appreciate you calling in. Truly. Thank you.
All the best. Be well.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. God bless. Yay.
Yay. We love Scott. What a fun person.
Yeah. And it's so sweet when people, this is why people listen every week. It's like, oh, okay, I learned about vitamin C to give it to my mother. And that's why, every caller who calls in and I'm able to give an answer, so many other people benefit. It is wonderful. Yeah, we're going to have to do a campaign where we say, for all you people who deny yourself Remag and Remite because of the taste, here's the solution.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's working out so well for people. I mean, they really love it, and it is such a great product too. So that's very, very, very fun. Very fun. Very fun. All right, Carolyn, gosh, just here comes another 2 hours, zoom, flying by. We've got so many great things that happen throughout the show. So grateful for all of our listeners. And Scott called in, so that was wonderful, and asked his question. Love that. And let me just check with our YouTubers and see what they're up to. Probably in there partying and carrying on. Let's see what Kathy. Nope, she just said no problems with Remag and my thyroid medication. I take Remag with my thyroid medication and water. Bam, bam.
Bam, bam. I know. It's just poor Carol, you know, she's so diligent about listening to her doctors and, you know, following Dr. Google that it's just winding her up too much. Yes. I mean, I can't say take them both together, but when we get a customer telling her experience, hopefully Carol is still listening. And you know, this is what we want people to do, is take responsibility, do your own experiment, see how you feel by taking the Remag with the thyroxine. And as I was saying, Ginny, when people say, oh, my doctor said I couldn't take magnesium with thyroid. I mean, what basis in reality does that have? Because magnesium is necessary for 1,000 enzyme functions and biochemical reactions in the body. So it's probably helping to metabolize the thyroxine. And they're acting like it's dangerous. It's not nice. Not nice at all.
Yeah. Especially, it says, as you've said so many times, Carolyn, it's food, for crying out loud. Did they tell you not to eat almonds when you take your thyroxine? Or, you know, goodness gracious. It's just so super silly. So super silly. But we come every week to straighten out the silliness. That's what we have to say. And I know what's going to happen next Monday night.
Tell me, what?
We're going to be rocking it out on the radio together.
Oh my gosh. I'm coming to North Carolina.
Yes, you are.
Oh my gosh.
We're so excited. So it's going to be so much fun. So next Monday night, we'll be on the show together. God only knows what we'll be talking about. I should check our calendar, but I don't have it right in front of me. But it'll be something really fun. And we'll be together hanging out, and we'll be able to tell all kinds of stories about all the important things that happened when we were doing our important things. That's going to be so much fun.
And it'll be after our staff party. We're going to have a party. Yep. Well, I have down for December 7th something about Realign. Are we going to be talking about Realign? Maybe for the holidays, how it helps metabolize alcohol?
Oh, good. Well, we'll be having it at our holiday party, but social distancing, everybody, don't panic. But so yes, we will be giving it. We'll do a study, Carolyn. We'll conduct our own study on Realign.
Right. How it metabolizes alcohol. Yeah, get somebody to bring their alcohol breathalyzer. We'll do before and afters.
That would be so much fun. Let's do that. We will figure something fun like that out.
Yeah. We have a police officer in the warehouse.
We sure do. Yes, we do. We absolutely do. Special security. Yeah, we'll get Aaron to hook us up. I'm going to text him right now. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Well, listen, everybody, we've had a great time with you. I hope you've had a great time with us. I hope you feel very, very, very inspired, and that you feel confident and joyful in your health and your well-being, and that you know with just a handful of building blocks that you can beat anything that's going on out there, and enjoy your life and live in peace and be that fearless person. Your face mask is on the inside of your body. So we thank you again for being with us. We'll be back next week, as we've already elaborated. And in the meantime, if you hear anything on the show that you have questions about, be sure to email questions, questions at drcarolyndeanlive.com. Questions at drcarolyndeanlive.com. We'll get you to Melody Rose, and she'll get your questions answered with Dr. Dean. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you, Ginny and Bob and Rachel and Deborah and everybody who's responsible for having a wonderful show. And thank you, listeners.
Yay!
Yay.
You've been listening to the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show. For questions about today's broadcast, email Dr. Dean at questions@drcarolyndeanlive.com. That's questions@drcarolyndeanlive.com.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.